Hey guys, so this is another First Impressions, another Who to Summon, another up pretty much everything packed into one video here. It's a lot. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this time around, guys. So let's get started. Raphael, which is some of the option that we have right now. Silence and Lubu are the reruns this time around. Ooh, Lubu, nice. So, and on top of that, we also have this. Oh my god, look at these options, man. Oh, so much. But this section, I'm gonna try to talk it like really short, nothing too crazy. Because we already talked about every single one of these videos before. I'm sorry, every single one of these heroes in videos before. So yeah, we'll talk about that and which one is the best option for you to summon. That is a lot of stuff we got to talk about. We're going to talk about the new hero as well. Don't worry about that. So let's get started. Right off the bat, Raphael. You know how much I love Raphael. Raphael is absolute monster of a hero at +1. She is required for you to combine when you're playing yellow with Arthur. When you have those two heroes together, Arthur at +5 and Raphael at +1, you'll be able to have 60% protection from skill damage, which in most strategies in PvP and things like that, that is very, very freaking powerful. It is the basis for all good yellow teams right now. I have seen some combinations that don't use one of the two and actually use the new hero that actually lowers the attack and defense. But still, in general, that is the best combination usually when you're playing yellow. If you have both and also the new yellow hero, yeah, that is very powerful stuff, guys. Super powerful. No joke. But not only that, even at +0, she is really necessary when you're playing in yellow. At +0, because the thing is that she's the shield breaker in yellow, pretty much. So yeah, that is very required, very useful, very powerful. However, if you're planning to use her, you can use her at +0, no worries. But the +1 is such a huge upgrade. It's like having the +3, a +3 and the +1. This is a +3 awakening level stuff. So yeah, very powerful +1, highly recommended. And if you want to actually get a lot more from her, you got to get the +5. The +5 is absolutely crazy. Immunity to stuns and all that good stuff is very, very powerful, very useful. And yeah, that actually changes everything when you're actually playing her. With this, you can protect yourself versus so many heroes. It's so powerful, guys, for sure. So as I said, +1 is the sweet spot for her. You can use her +0, but the +1 is the sweet spot, and the +5 is the next that we have to go. +5 is really freaking powerful for her, for sure. Now, I actually don't have Silence, and I wanted to keep it that way, because Silence is a hero that I feel personally that he was really powerful, really broken, but that was when the first season came out. After that, I have not seen Silence being impactful at all. Unless he's +5 and unless he has other heroes that can help him raise his damage. But I'm not seeing him like doing crazy stuff. On an attack, I have seen him being used successfully, but on defense, it's not really anything to write home about, for sure. So I would say that his sweet spot is definitely the +1, because this +2 is just pretty much reviving. That's it. It is pretty nice that he gets the mana back as well. But nah, it's the +1 is definitely his sweet spot. And then, but if you really want to do damage, you have to go to +5 over here. But as I said, I don't think that Silence is a hero that you should be focusing on too much. Like going all out, oh my god, I have to choose this hero over all the other heroes in the game. No, I don't. I definitely don't think that, and I don't recommend you to go all out with Silence. However, he's a very powerful hero. If blue is your main color, if you have other heroes that support him, make him do even more damage. A lot of hoops, a lot of things to jump on there. But outside of that, nah. Now, for the next hero, and this one I do have it for sure. I haven't been using him too much because I have a lot of more powerful heroes to actually replace him, but still, Lubu is an absolute monster. An absolute monster of a hero. His ability to actually, taunt and reflect and do a bunch of damage is no joke. No joke, guys. He's a very, very, very powerful red hero that's actually a tank, but really he can become your main damage dealer in the right team. So yeah, this guy I definitely need to upgrade him for sure. Well, I may decide to summon him. If I do, I'm definitely gonna go with this guy. Now his sweet spot is definitely the +1. Like every single taunt hero in the entire freaking game, +1 is required when you're actually playing this hero. The thing is that with this, you actually receive 60% less damage, which is freaking awesome. And actually damage taken, and more than anything is the taunt is automatically when you start the fight. So you can start controlling your enemy with this +1 for sure, starting off. Now, at this level, he's not going to do a lot of damage. But then when you go to the +3 and then the +5, this is when he becomes really, really scary stuff, guys. Look, you can get the +3, sure, but +1 is the sweet spot. And it's going to raise his overheat faster, but his actual damage level goes bonkers. Like, literally one-shot level bonkers at +5 with this freaking crazy ability. I mean, it says damage dealt by 200% to shields and an extra damage dealt to the target by 1,280%. That is Wanda level damage, guys. That is a lot of freaking damage. So yeah, very, very powerful stuff. Scary hero at +5. And if your main color is red, like I have main color red, yeah, you probably want to get this hero for sure. At least at +1. But if you go all the way, he's definitely worth it. He's very, very, very freaking powerful. Very scary. Can be used on the attack and defense. Not so much on PvE, but PvP, yeah, you're able to use him on the attack for sure. He's very freaking powerful stuff. Now, let's go for the options, which are a lot. So I'm going to try to make this short. This hero here, Martina, I still think that she's a good hero, but I haven't seen her like breaking the meta, like becoming a hero, very powerful hero yet. But I think she's awesome, but yeah, she's not like the most crazy red hero out there. This one, I definitely have underestimated Lawrence. Lawrence, used correctly, can be very powerful. However, do take into account that Lawrence does have a problem, and is when he actually puts the change color on the target, he doesn't raise the damage as well like other color changing heroes out there. So that is a big difference. Very problematic. He does suck the mana, which is awesome. And on the attack, I've seen that to be very powerful. On defense, it is freaking annoying. So it's not like he is not useful on defense. So you can use him on attack and defense, but I still feel that he could be better. So much better like other heroes. So he's not as impactful as other heroes. Now, on the other hand, Athena has been a monster for a very long time. She hasn't been as impactful as she used to be, but I still think that she's really freaking awesome. If green is your main color, do for sure, do think about getting Athena to +5. She's still very powerful. She is also an important part of a strategy in green to actually destroy almost 50k power more enemies that are on defense. She on the attack, and on defense you destroy those higher level enemies. So yeah, Athena still has a lot of tricks up her sleeve, and she can be a very powerful option for a green player out there. Guanju, I'm a big fan of Guanju. The thing is that with his other abilities aren't too crazy when you're actually using him for getting mana and things like that. However, his ability to give mana to both red and green is very powerful. But the problem is that red is so powerful on its own. It doesn't really need another color to actually give the mana, not so as much as you would think. That's why I think that's the reason why I was seeing Guanju being used less than Freya. For example, Freya is like insane. Guanju, you can use her on the mono green team, but mono green, it already creates a bunch of stones. So that's the problem with Guanju. He's not so much needed in green. He's not so much needed in red. But I still think that he's a really powerful hero if used correctly. He is one of the very few dispellers, and he can dispel more than one target on the attack. So yeah, Guanju is a good hero, but he is not as impactful as other heroes, sadly. Now, impactful is this hero's middle name, last name, and all that good stuff. Gwendolyn is an absolute monster of a hero. She can be used on the attack. She can be used on defense. She's very powerful, especially if you have her at plus freaking 5 and you put her next to a hero that actually does extra damage. Silence does do a lot more damage when you have a Gwendolyn that's plus 5 Gwendolyn next to them. Because yeah, she is like crazy powerful. She will eliminate enemies teams if used correctly, for sure. If you have other heroes that are actually doing additional damage there. So yeah, she is a very powerful option. Do not underestimate Gwendolyn. Very powerful stuff. At least you need her at least to +1. By the way, I forgot to mention those. At least to +1, you have to actually have her for sure. She's very powerful. And she's one of the 2 heroes that I'm thinking of summoning recently. Shelly, I still think Shelly is awesome, especially if you combine her with Sigmund. Sigmund and her work really nicely together. However, I haven't seen her being impactful. She's not good on defense. Let's be clear. But she can be used on certain teams in yellow that can be very beneficial for sure. And in Sigmund, yeah, he worked very well with Sigmund as well. So yeah, I do like her, but she's not a good hero all on her own. She has to be around other heroes that actually synergize with her to actually make her be a lot more useful for sure. Now, Abigail is another absolute monster of a blue hero. Even at +0, she is absolutely crazy. However, if you plan to get Abigail, I do recommend you to get her at least to +1. That +1 is insane, but all her awakenings are freaking insane, honestly. But yeah, that especially the +5. That if you have Abigail +5, you don't need a stone weapon. You can start the fight like nothing. She is a living stone weapon. So yeah, she is really freaking awesome. Not good on defense. Absolutely bonkers amazing on the attack. Some players say that she creates too many stones. And those players, I would say, nah, just bring Abigail and no other stone heroes in the team. And she'll be plenty to use in that case. And who doesn't love to have all the mana in the world? And she gives it to you in the silver platter there. So yeah, I still think that Abigail's an absolute monster of a hero. If you don't have Abigail, at least get her to +1, please. Your blue team will be very happy with you. We'll thank you for it. Now, Artemis, in my opinion, is the best Team Realm user for purple. If you don't have her, shame on you. You should at least have her at +1. However, once you get her to +5, she becomes a lot more powerful, a lot more resilient to dying. So that's something that you have to take into account. Artemis, if your main color is purple, you should seriously think about getting Artemis at +5, or at least to +1, because you do need a realm hero that is of the team there in that case. And her ability to break shields is no joke. She is absolutely required if you're finding a team that has a lot of shields there as well. So yeah, very powerful hero. Do not ignore Artemis. Agony. Agony is an he was I'm pretty sure that I added him in 2024 as one of the most impactful heroes, I think. I'm 100% sure I added him at 2023's most impactful hero for sure, because he was doing He at that time in 2023, he was an absolute monster. He was dominating everything. Now, right now, I see more and more players not using Agony because there's some heroes that actually benefit from having Agony in the defense team. So yeah, that is a big problem. Like Nightingale. Nightingale wishes that everybody uses Agony on defense, and by result of that, we have less players using Agony on defense because yeah, that's the weakness that most players are trying to actually use against you. But that doesn't mean Agony is not an amazing hero. He is an amazing hero on the attack. Defense, you're still able to use him, but try to use him on the third team in war, so there's less probability that somebody's using on a Nightingale against you. Oh, sorry. So yeah, less Agony's being less used, but it doesn't mean he's not an amazing hero. He's an excellent, crazy hero for sure, guys. And last but certainly not least, Molly. Molly with her realm, she is still causing a lot of problems. If her realm is up for enough time, my God, if her realm is up for enough time, you'll be able to actually eliminate your enemy very nicely. So her on defense, you are able to use her. Her on the attack, you are able to use her as well. Give me a second, guys. All right, as I was saying, yeah, she's an amazing hero. On the attack, on defense, she's not going to be used so much on PvE, but on the attack, on defense, and PvP, she's a very, very powerful hero. And she creates stones, she does a bunch of stuff, prevents shields, turns healing into damage. So you have to get her at +1, by the way. That's required. However, her real power is at +5. When she becomes at +5, she becomes a hero that is going to be one of your win cons on the attack and defense. So yeah, do take that into account when you're getting her. If you plan to get her, you may think about getting her at +5 for sure. So let's see. Last option is the new hero. Sadly, we have been having a lot of problems with this hero in terms of actual summoning. First of all, I heard about a guy that actually bought all of this, every single one of these. I'm pretty sure that this goes up until 100, and this and this and this. I mean, this is ridiculous. 20 summons for $100. That is absolutely ridiculous. And this as well. But this level over here, these prices and summoning options, we're pretty much going back to how the game started, like $10 for 5 summons in this case. So yeah, they made it really difficult here to actually summon this hero. So we did send feedback to actually try to make this, to see if the developers are going to plan to make these summons more readily available for everyone, because this is a 7 awakening hero. We need a lot of summons to be able to actually get them that high, and hopefully the developers will keep their word, because they did send a message that they will be making this more available for everyone, maybe in events and things like that. So I sure hope so, because this hero, everybody wants it, everybody needs it, but the problem is that everybody thinks it's impossible to get them. Because, as I said, the guy that actually bought all this and actually summoned this hero was only able to get him at +3. So, the way things are, I can recommend you to actually spend your hard-earned money and summon this hero. I cannot recommend you. I recommend you to, at this very moment, I recommend you to ignore this hero, because you won't be able to get him very high with the options that we have right now. Now, outside of that, this hero is absolutely broken. Absolutely broken. There is no way to say it. This guy, the ability to actually transform twice, actually do reflection damage. And on top of that, something that I wasn't able to show really clearly on the sneak peek video that I made is that this hero, this hero of this color, I'm pretty sure that it's white.
There's plenty of time.
This color is white, guys, because it says white heroes regenerate divine energy each turn. So do not say that these are time heroes and blah blah blah. These are white heroes. That is the color of of these heroes that we're actually getting now. So when they pretty much gain mana the same way as a hero that on defense does. The turn passes, they gain mana. The turn passes, they gain mana. So it made sense because they're time heroes. That's time heroes again. Because time passes, they gain mana. And they have divine energy and all that good stuff. So that is something that I didn't really was able to show because there's so many things on the video I had to show. But they don't gain mana through stones. They gain mana through time, passing the turn. So yeah, that made sense. That made sense. But these are white heroes, by the way. So yeah. Oh my god. Sweet spot. I have no idea, guys. I'm gonna be honest. The only level that I've seen this hero in action is +0, and +0. This guy is not powerful. This guy needs more awakenings than +0. +0, he's like dies like that on defense. He's dead on defense. I've seen him die twice in a row on defense at +0. So this guy definitely needs more awakenings. But which awakening I can't really say right now. Maybe +3. Maybe +1. I really need to see higher levels. So definitely this +7 is absolutely bonkers. I mean, look at that. Matt's at 1,500% of guards. Oh my god, that is crazy insane, guys. My god. I do love that this guy transformed twice. We had heroes before that they transformed one. This one transformed twice. And when he transformed the third time, a freaking dragon, he switches. Which is freaking amazing. Look at that. Oh my god. There were rumors that we were going to get a dragon, but we never thought it was going to be a freaking hero dragon. Oh my god. I'm still excited about this hero, but I'm totally bummed out that we're not able to get him at high levels. Just by playing the game, maybe in 2 freaking months, maybe, I don't know. Let's see what the developers cook up. But in the meantime, I recommend you to not spend your money on this hero. Do not summon this hero. You will be disappointed if you do. Do not do it for now. Let's see what the developers cook up. If there's more ways to actually summon this hero, you probably want to get this hero as high as possible to +7. And the sweet spot to be established. We don't know yet, guys. +0 is definitely not useful for this guy for sure. Sadly. Now, out of all these heroes, which one would be my #1 option for you to summon? Out of all these freaking options, is freaking insane. It's making my head hurt here. I would say the #1 option for summons, I would say Lubu. Lubu is very powerful, very freaking impactful out of all the heroes for sure. At +1, he's very powerful. At +5, he's an absolute game changer. I highly recommend you to get this hero, especially if you plan to get him at +5. This hero is absolutely broken, guys, at +5. You can use him pretty much everywhere on PvP. The +1 is definitely required when you're actually using Lubu, for sure. Second option, I would say the second option is definitely Gwendolyn. Because the thing is that Gwendolyn is a Soul Link hero that raises the damage, lowers the shield, gives 30% crit chance and 60% crit damage to 2 of the heroes that are next to her and to herself. So that raises her damage by a lot. The only weakness that I forgot to mention the time that I mentioned her is that she's incredibly squishy. So unless you give her her own weapon, which by the way, her own weapon is the best weapon for her, you have to give her a shield weapon because if not, she's going to die really quickly. She's incredibly squishy, but her own weapon is absolutely bonkers. Because besides actually giving shields to any hero in your team, she also gives this mana when battle begins, which is really important when you actually want to do everything at the first turn when playing the game. So yeah. In events and things like that. So yeah, this is a very good weapon. Highly recommend to get this weapon for sure. And by the way, I forgot to mention that Lubu, when you're actually, if you plan to get Lubu as well, You have to have his weapon. There is no way around it. There is no better weapon for Lubu. If you don't have use his weapon, you're gonna regret it. Shields and mana gain. It's pretty much the same situation as the other one, which is this one here. Where are you? Terran. Terran needs his own weapon as well. Is required. I mean, shields and weapons. I mean, shields and mana gain. It's hard to beat. So if you're going to get Lubu, do get his weapon. There's no way around it. Now, my third option out of all these, when things get dicey, because there's so many amazing options here. My God. Man, I would love to say Agony, because Agony is so freaking powerful at plus freaking 5. I would say at plus 3. I think his sweet spot is plus 3, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Because his ability to actually make more damage from his realm can actually be used in PvE as well. So that could be really useful. But I would say out of the plus 1, plus 0 heroes that you can actually choose, I would say Abigail would be the third option here. Because if you don't have Abigail and you're playing blue, I don't know what you're doing, guys. You gotta get Abigail at least at plus 0. That's what I love about Abigail. At plus 0, you got her at plus 0, and you can do so much with her. It's not even funny. After that, plus 1 is such an incredible upgrade. Yeah, that is absolutely bonkers insane, guys. Now, I'm going to go up to 5 options, guys. Please. That's too many options. Fourth option over here, I would say that it would be Molly. Just because that Molly is still relevant up until this day on the attack and defense for green. So if green is your main color, I would highly recommend you to get Molly as close as possible to plus 5. Because plus 5 Molly is no joke. She changes your game for in many ways on defense, on the attack, on PvP. Not at all useful on PvE, but yeah, she's really freaking awesome there. Now the fifth option, this is gonna be hard, guys. This is gonna be really hard because it's between freaking Agony, freaking Artemis, and freaking Athena. And all these heroes are amazing options, honestly. But the thing is that Agony has been used less and less. I still use Agony up until this day. I don't care well, I actually do care. If we fight against Nightingale, I'm not gonna use Agony. I'm just gonna straight up use another team altogether. So Artemis is absolutely amazing hero for sure. Man, this is a hard option, guys. But I would say out of these 3 heroes, man, I would say Agony, guys. Because the thing is that even though Agony has been received a lot of counters from other heroes, Agony is still an amazing hero, I would say. As long as you don't fight Nightingale, I would say Agony is a very powerful option between those two, between those 3. If you're playing red, you're probably going to want Agony, but you have to be wary of teams that actually counter him and actually benefit from him in that case. For sure, guys. And I would choose the 6th option this time. And it is... it would be the same hero that I mentioned before, Raphael. The main reason why I went to Raphael is that these heroes, Artemis is awesome at plus 1, but honestly, everybody needs to get her plus 5. And Athena is a very powerful hero, but you require to use her at plus 3. That's her sweet spot. Plus freaking 3 to actually get her sweet spot. So I would say Raphael at plus 1 is your 6th option. And probably higher level. If yellow is your main color, probably higher level than number 6. Maybe your number 4 option in that case. Because Raphael at plus 1 does a lot of things, gives protection to your entire freaking team from skill damage by 30%, and actually breaks shields, yeah, and revives your heroes as well, of course, at plus 1. So Raphael plus 0 plus 1 is still very useful if you're if yellow is a good color for you, go for Raphael. She's very powerful at +1, and she is required to be used in the combination of Arthur and her on defense for sure. If you have a mono yellow, Arthur needs to be at +5. She needs to be at least at +1 to be actually get that 60% skill damage prevention, which is really freaking powerful, for sure, guys. Whew, man, this time I worked overtime for you guys. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please leave it in the comments, and we'll talk about it. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.